Okay, we're going to look at how we find bugs. Okay, so in my Holy Spirit file, bad code jump. Let's look at this. We make two passes. The first pass is to find how many lines of code. Is it lines of code? Yeah, it's lines of code. The Y coordinate is the lines of code. We load all the source code and we count the Y of the bottom. And then we pick a random number that is keyboard mouse event time. This is the timestamp cycle when the last keyboard mouse occurred. We it's a good idea to get rid of some of the bits. Sometimes I read it and always get multiples of 16, stuff like that. Anyway, I get rid of a few bits, and then we take modulo the number of lines of code, and then we make a second pass through all the files, and we pick a random line. So if we have nothing to do, sometimes this works. I get maybe if I do an offering, God will find a bug. So we hit Alt-B. I should do an offering. Because God does, that's how we operate. So we say, let's do a Moses comic. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I can do this. Sometimes I do shitty ones. Okay, so first of all, I make all my Moses comics the same. Maybe I'm going to hire an artist and he can make pretty Moses. Maybe I'm supposed to be an example of what people should do. And so if I do shitty art, that will be an example. Okay, so I do something and then I make it funny. Sometimes if I have I put a reference. Trying to search for cherubim. Gold cherubim. Okay, here it is. Now, at one time I had a way to reverse a Bible lookup. He overlaid the cherubims with gold. So this is 628. Okay, 628. So what chapter, what book? 628. 1 Kings 628. Okay, so now this is just what I do. Link to the Bible, 1 Kings 6:28. Okay. And now the last thing I have to do is come up with something funny. What can we say? I am divinely inspired. They should have balls. Damn, I'm good. Okay, now the question is, if God did that, does that count as an offering? You see, because he puppeted me. Okay, shit. Damn, I'm good. Okay, so now we got to do the bad code. Oh well, we can give it a shot. Alt B. Bad code, bad code. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Okay, let's see. This is in my personal code, not the distribution. This is the code for when I make a video of a code walkthrough. So God is telling me to do a code walkthrough. You want to do a code walkthrough? Let's do a code walkthrough. Okay, so if you want to know how this works, I have a registry entry for TOS code walkthrough. I have a screen. Do I have a screen? Yeah, I have a random. Okay, so let's just examine how this works. Oops, damn it. Oh, I'm hitting wrong keys. Control Alt E. Okay, there we go. Alt V. Shit. Alt V. Oh no. I'm having keyboard difficulties. There we go. Okay. Because QEMU every once in a while grabs a key. Anyway, so we were going to, let's look at let's step through this code that why don't we just use this as our code walkthrough. Okay, settings push. At the command line, it doesn't spawn a new task when you run something. So it's really kind of disruptive. If you think you're going to run an application and then return to the command line, then what you should be doing is putting settings push, settings pop around the application. It preserves a lot of things, not everything. I purposely always post a link so you can see what is and is not preserved. That's what this is for. So it preserves the preemption flag, the draw it routine, callbacks. I guess it does the window coordinates are preserved. I didn't remember that. Anyway, it preserves a lot of stuff. This autocomplete turns off the autocomplete, which is this window. Turns off that window. That's part of the settings, so it gets returned back to normal. It maximizes the window. It gets rid of the border. And what is this? Frame grabber. Okay, so if I'm I need to be making if I'm not making a video, then I turn on making a video. This is for, I have a native video capture that makes BMP files. Right now I'm actually using a different video capture technique. I'm using Linux host OBS. It sometimes crashes, but I don't have to synchronize. It's a little better. It's a little simpler. And it also doesn't disturb the native environment as much. When you're capturing BMP files, I don't usually have a problem. One time I noticed bad performance on capturing my flight simulator. For some reason, the timing of the video capture frame grab was at a bad time for the flight simulator. So I get good results when I use the OBS to examine my flight simulator videos, or to generate my flight simulator videos. Anyway, settings pop, message. This sends a message to this own task, a B. I think that's Control B. What is that? Oh, Alt B. That's the bad code. Alt B. If you want to see what these scan code things are, what you do is, okay, Control Shift L is that family of, Control Shift L. Insert ASCII scan code, and then we can say it's waiting for a key, and this is going to give both the ASCII and the scan code. Alt B. Okay, so it just inserted quote B. So Alt B. Whoa, that's kind of weird. Alt B has an ASCII. I'm surprised it's not 0. I'm just confused. Anyway, in any case, that is the key that it was. Alt B has an ASCII B. Okay. And then this TOS code walkthrough is a global variable that's a registry. And then TOS registry write. That's TOS registry write. Let's look where that is. There's a branch in the account registry, TOS, and there's text in there. Basically, the registry is a bunch of scissor cut and paste chunks of code that you can request compiling. There's no distinction between compiling and executing. They're the same thing. If it hits code, the command line, if you say sign of 1, you say it had some garbage. Anyway, it compiles or executes. If it's outside. Anyway, so the registry, if you examine the account registry file, it's just declaring global variables. And what an application does is it says, okay, compile that code, and then all of a sudden you have a global variable that's initialized. So your company should do your own company as your root of your tree, and your game, TempleOS. This, what is it? TempleOS, what did I call it? I don't remember the root. Do you see it? TOS, that's what it is. TOS code walkthrough. I am on code walkthrough number 105, and After Egypt is a program I do, 46. So let's just, I don't want to do a code walkthrough. Oh well, that was my code walkthrough. If you want to see what my code walkthrough, archive random code. Okay, in my archive, this is my title screen. You know what I realized? I'm really pathetic when it comes to my TV show. Did you know every company does a fancy graphic? I can't believe I'm so pathetic. For some reason, I don't picture myself like a company. I don't know, it just doesn't click. So why am I not doing a very professional? You know, the first 5 minutes of your television show is supposed to be your logo. And then you spend 25 minutes. So my 5-minute code walkthrough. So that's what I show. I did that with my own graphic tool. I have etch and what's the opposite of etch? Anyway, I can show you how I did that. That's purdy. Actually, it looks like shit compared to a professional thing. It looks laughable. Sometimes I forget how I look. Oh well, that's my show.